Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of the Cloister of the Dice. I have your MC, John, and you're joined here by the crew. We got everybody here. We got Kira Coops, I'm Brick, Lady K, Nevador Frawl, Slick Brick, Xanatrix Zadari, and of course our DM, Mildred the Monk. Gentlemen, lady, how are we all doing today?
I might still be hacking up along.
I'm pretty good.
I like to move it, move it.
He likes to move it, move it.
Master of Faster! And... Hold on one...
You alright over there, Monk?
I am slightly confused. I thought we were using kick to the end.
Oh my god! That's a botch on my part. I forgot to switch it.
Yeah, that's...
Alright,
what you're doing on YouTube.
Hold on, guys. I will be right back.
Oh wait, no, the other one.
Sorry, dear, I gotta hit this on you.
Yeah, I deserve that. My apologies, guys. I forgot to switch it to the Kick account. For those of you that don't know, I do all the streaming and everything on my end with Monk's sign-in. And my dumbass forgot to switch it to Kick before going live.
That happens. I mean, if a technology exists, it can be boomered.
Yep.
The scuff is real, folks.
Mm-hmm.
The Price is Right, you lose horn would also be appropriate there.
I agree completely. I can't believe I botched that so damn bad. Oh my god.
So...
And I can tell you from all my experiences, nobody is safe from scuff. You're not alone. Don't feel bad.
Yep, pretty much.
Name me a streamer, and I could probably name at least 5 times they've scuffed.
Mm-hmm.
Badly, I should add.
God, one of the guys I used to watch religiously, Nick Ricada, regularly boomer technology before a show.
Also, how many times have I had it where I've done my opening monologue and not realized that that the mic wasn't being picked up because of an update?
Enough times that
that happened to me about a month ago.
Enough times that every time we start on anything, I have the window open to listen to your opening to make sure you're being heard before muting it again.
Mm-hmm. And it happened so often with me, we literally made it a catchphrase. RVT Entertainment, never without a botch.
Mm-hmm. and then rejiggered that. I think I remember that being rejiggered as a different kind of button 3 times for different Common Rider seasons.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember Ghost and Gaim. I try to remember the last one.
X8.
That was yep.
Oh, I think the only reason you stopped doing it was because the jingles didn't quite fit.
Yeah.
But getting that out of the way, we are at the culmination. Obviously, I know that originally I said I was going to do both vignettes, but after what happened with Sunlight and Sky, that will not happen. So we will not be doing Wailing Song. And at the end of the broadcast today, we will be going a bit into what we have planned in the future, as well as some of the changes that are going to be coming to the Cloister. I did make a bit of an audible when it comes to the map that I'm using, and to bring up a bit of behind the curtains. This particular encounter was one of the trickiest ones to set up in advance, which is what I usually like to do with these setups on Roll20. Because there were 6 different positioning setups that could have been done, and 3 different potential map layouts. all based on the decisions that you make leading up to this point. So it wasn't until literally the last minute that I was able to have things narrowed down in terms of where I was going to set things up.
Nice. I'm glad we made it as difficult for you as possible.
What we do
Our
best.
job is complete.
What do you mean your work here is done? You didn't do anything.
Yet.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I think my work was done the moment I chose my character, but hey.
And
Shame
what
on
do you
you.
mean I haven't done anything? There's piles of ashes everywhere that says I have.
Shame on both of you for missing the obvious Simpsons joke.
I just ignored it.
Yeah.
I missed
Uh-huh.
it entirely.
Yeah, well, at your height, I'm sure a lot of things go over your head.
Oh!
It's true. I am.
Yeah, but Monk, at our heights, we have to be careful that we don't take out anything at any level anyway. Our legs will just do it for us.
Of course, nothing goes over our head. We're too fast.
All right, there, Trax.
I'm trying not to make a Coops joke here, but, you know. Coops wasn't fast enough to catch it himself.
But getting back to how things ended up going, after a bit of an encounter, finally meeting the Grey Hand and dealing with the Rift Keepers, you all ended up heading down into the mountain to his base, and seeing a few interesting things, namely that the fabled Songweave tapestry seemed to have been tampered with. And eventually, the test that was done at the top of the mountain in full celebration seems to have gone a different route because the golems started activating and started attacking. However, in the meanwhile, it was revealed that the whole thing was intentional sabotage, as a certain Canadian would say, because Greyhand decided to use that as a scapegoat to get the people on his side, which worked for all of a minute before the Rift Keepers, the Grey Legion, and the personal house guard of House Darius got into a three-way fight, while for the rest of you have to contend with trying to deal with a golem and the little four-legged spider-looking sentries that it has spawned.
Luckily, we all managed to convince Atona that she should shut this shit down as soon as shit goes bad, so hopefully she'll get on that.
Mm-hmm. Because I think we've hit the shit going down portion of things.
This is definitely a brown note special.
Yeah.
The shit has officially hit the fan.
Wait, Brown Note, the Don Callis family isn't even here.
God damn.
Much too sweet for that, sir.
Too sweet. Too sweet.
That was good.
But as things are getting chaotic, you do hear a shout from Greyhand commanding to his to his forces, saying, "Contain the Scion, neutralize their supporters, and destroy the Golem." The cannon attempts that he had brought in attempts to fire at the Golem. Unfortunately, it misses. While Atona comes to the realization this isn't war to him, this is theater. He wants everyone to see him save the day, but he's unleashed something he can't control. Take down the golem if you have to, but if you can, buy me some time, and I'll see what I can do about some sort of self-destruct or even shutting it down.
Well, all right then. Some of you will stay behind to guard Atona. The rest of us, hold everything. Take out anybody who gets in the way and hold that golem up as long as we can. It's time to kick some ass!
I turn to Atona and say, if the Songweave Tapestry is destroyed, will that stop the golem?
In the current state that it's in full active. I don't think that destroying the tapestry would stop it.
Well, that solves that then, and I put away the blasting cap that I was about ready to hand to her.
Now, with that said, let me move you guys over to the map needed. And just so you have an idea of one of the things that spawned out from it.
Oh, great, so the fucking thing's got funnels.
No, they're not necessarily funnels. They're siphons. They're like mechanical mosquitoes.
I'm looking at this. All I have to think. No, all I can think of is hope no one's scared of needles.
My first thought is, oh my god, it's a seeker.
It's not a funnel, by the way, John. These would actually be more akin to bits if we're talking Gundam.
Okay, fair enough. You had the idea where I was going with it, though, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Let me see if I
interceptors
can
if
pull
you
this
played
up for the folks
13
in,
Sentinels.
Let me see if I can pull this up for the folks in the chat.
It's
Oh, it's up! Yay!
It's definitely a thing.
Yep.
Definitely a thing.
So yeah, that's one of the things we're dealing with. All right.
So, with that said, who is taking slot A?
I am.
I'll
take
do B.
And,
Okay, let's roll. Let's roll Zan. Hi, Summer gets.
All right, Monk. Quick question: these brown parts, are those elevated?
Go ahead and roll, Rick.
Okay. What? D20.
Yes, they are, and
I get
obviously
it.
the blue line is even more elevated.
All right.
yeah.
So, like for instance, right here, how high would that be, and would that cost me any extra movement?
It's not going to cost you extra movement. It's not that elevated.
Okay. That's all I needed.
So it's just like
Also-
a dais or
Yep.
a
Yeah,
stage. Yeah.
something
Okay,
like that.
makes sense.
And with
Side
that-
note, I made Rick roll first so that he could ruin all his dice luck for the rest of the encounter.
Oh, evil son of a bitch. And with that said, folks, it's time. We got to start this battle off right. Ladies and gentlemen, for what is likely the final time, it is combat time!
I'll take C then, but we'll leave it at that.
All right.
All right.
Let me just measure something really quick.
Bigu map.
While you guys do that, I'm going to get myself some water real quick. I will be right back.
L hydrate.
Fuck! Damn it! Son of a bitch.
Widgets.
Okay. Guys, do not forget this time, and I'm going to bring this up now. I have a passive skill called Empowering Aura. I'm putting it in the roll here.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So just keep in mind that when with damage, it's +4 damage to damage dealing actions by all heroes.
Yep. You could put it in as a permanent bonus at the top of the sheet. Just take the bonus to a 4 at the very least.
Okay.
Or if we get any other bonuses, you can increase it by even more.
Okay.
Also, I don't know why your Empowering Aura has an amp on it.
I don't know either.
Hold on, I'll go fix that.
What the shit? And what's really weird is that's not in the...
Yep, it's Roll20 carrying stuff over from other stuff for no reason, because it's Roll20.
What the hell?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what happens to all of us.
Alright, so I am going to move 1, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to... Ooh, actually... I just realized something very important. Hee. I'm going to make a second move. Because... of Muse of War. My first 2 Warsong actions are free actions.
Yep, which means they will cost no AP.
So, first things first. Tremble before me, bitches.
That is not a war song.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Son of a bitch. Alright, ignore that.
Ignore what?
Alright. Dirge of Weakness, then, is going to be the first war song, and it's going to be this guy here.
It's all foes within range 5, so...
Alright, so plus these 2.
1 stack of weakness on each target.
I keep forgetting that's not a war song, and damn it. Okay, and...
E pats on shoulder.
Alright, that's all I can do for this turn.
Well, you can you can use
2.
Verge of Weakness.
A second
A
time.
second time.
Problem is I want to be able to get into range to use Lion Song. So that way everybody else has has an added bonus. But... Alright. Oh well. Fuck it. 2 stacks, bitches.
2 stacks of weakness, which means they hit for 2 damage less. That'll probably be very helpful from the widgets. Probably not as much from the golem. 2 damage less could be very useful. It could also still, kill you even with just 2 damage less.
Oh, there's a reason I'm going head first in, so...
Yep. So... Let me put...
So it's going to be these guys here.
Yep.
Hey, Ein, you might want to change over to Augustus in Roll20.
But since that's slot A, next up is slot B, and I believe you were taking that, Nibas.
Nope, Trufa did.
Ah.
He rolled for it, he got his 20, I made him waste all his dice luck for the encounter. Just as planned.
All according to Keikaku. Translation
So the hold on a sec. I'm gonna put this back. So this area here, that's elevated.
No, none of it's elevated enough to inhibit movement. Or
Okay.
Monk would have marked it with drawings.
Okay.
That's why Hippolyta was able to just run across the map.
That's why I double checked that.
That's fair. Mm. I'm double checking something. That's just where's perfect. So I'm going to first do one move Trufa to right here. And then he's going to use one positions. Oh yeah. I'm going to use Malicious Strike.
Again,
And
you said you're going to use it. You didn't say who you're going to use it against.
Big guy. Big guy.
It's the only guy he's right next to.
And
I like that the big guy's the only person's life bar we can't see.
Well, and also he said he's using it, and there's only one person in melee range of him. So
Yep. And since he has weakness, doesn't that count as a condition?
Yes. And so
Ooh.
that's plus tier times 2 number of stacks of condition to damage. So tier's 4, number of stacks is 2. It's another 8 damage on top of it. All for a total of 29 damage.
29. Right. And so now that's it for slot B. So
Grunts. All 6 of them.
mm-hmm.
Tiny little fast fuckers.
Well, the good news is they don't move.
What's the bad news, Monk?
They're mobile turrets.
Well, if they don't move, then they're not really mobile turrets, are they?
No, but you've played NG. You know.
I have.
You know.
I have. Spy sapping my sentry.
All right. And yes, I re-enabled 3D dice. So this one is going first. And let me see. Let me get out the ruler. Because its basic attack's range is 7.
Only valid target is Gungnir.
I don't know why it. Okay, there it goes. So, Gungnir, you are getting hit with. So roll dodge.
Oh, just made that.
Yep.
Told you they were bits. They shoot lasers.
So he tries to fire, but you manage to get behind cover so that he can't hit. He can't hit. Unfortunately, he's gonna try again.
Alright.
So roll dodge again.
Well, you got me this time. Let's see, 13.
Mine
Resistance.
13 minus resistance.
Resistance. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Alright, so I'll take 8.
You're gonna take 8 damage.
Yep, I already counted it. There you go. It just didn't show, but I did mark it.
All right, now for the next one.
There are 3 valid targets for it. Maybe even more. I think Xanthia might also be in range.
Okay, that's a 5. So, Hippolyta, you're going to get hit first.
All right.
So roll dodge.
Rolling. Dodge, 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 dodge. Ouch.
12
So
versus resistance. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
4 damage.
Also, for some reason, the HP on your mini is not what it's supposed to be.
It says 2?
This is 25.
Oh. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that was on roll 20.
That's a roll 20 visual glitch for sure.
Mm-hmm. So 12 minus your resistance.
Already said it's gonna be 4.
You gotta click off of it to show up on the map.
Oh.
That's what I had figured out earlier.
All right. And
Truth is in range.
yep, and Trufa, you're getting hit next. So roll dodge. And you do not get hit.
Given how high my dodge is, if I got hit by that, yeah, bullshit.
Not bullshit, just RNGesus.
I know.
See, now for the third one.
I mean, your dodge is only 12, so you were literally 1 away.
All right.
That third one is the one inflicted with weakness, right?
Yep.
That's I think literally everybody but me or Gungnir.
So this one's going to be targeting Xanthia. So roll dodge.
Xanthia should be able to dodge this pretty easily, considering how much you pumped into fucking Dex.
Yep.
Yes, she dodges.
And then it's going to be doing one more against Titania. So Titania, roll dodge.
On it.
Ooh.
I think
So-
Titania's resistance is pretty okay, though. Yeah, a resistance of 10, Monk, so... Titania takes 4 damage.
Ah, well.
It singed your robe, that bastard.
All right, now for the next one. And let me see who's in.
Everybody but me or Gungnir again.
All right. So it is going to fire its beam at Augustus. So Augustus, roll dodge.
Ein?
Dodge.
I haven't been able to get a response from Einbrecht for about 30 minutes now. No, I'm joking. Like 15 minutes?
Ein?
Let me ping him. He may not be able to hear the VC. He might be a Discord something. I don't know. Says he's online though. And he was here earlier, so I don't know where he went. He didn't say anything if he was going to go anywhere.
Quick, get the defib unit.
I think we are going to have to assume he's not at his computer, Monk.
Yes. So
That's annoying. Would you like me to roll as his character?
yeah.
All right. I'll change into Augustus for just a second here. My shape-shifting knows no bounds. And we will roll dodge. He does not dodge, and his resistance is 4, and so I don't see you rolling damage, though, Monk.
Whoops. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
There we go.
13. Okay, he took 9 damage. Hold on. There we go.
All right.
And now I will shapeshift back to myself.
Let's see, and now for the second to last.
Who can hit me and Trufa and probably Augustus.
All right, and this one is going to be aiming at you. So roll dodge.
Man, I can't use deflect arrow. Oh, I could use deflect arrows if I. No, I'll take 4 damage. That's fine. Not that big a deal. If it would transfer my 4 damage that I took from my sheet to my character, please.
I think it's already on the
It's just not showing on the bar for some reason. Or at least for me. On my own end, I can't see my HP bars changing.
I see it. It's just very small.
Mhm.
Well, I'm at 100% zoom and it just says 63 of 63 on my bar. So yay, roll 20 for visual glitches.
Gotta love it.
But
Yes.
it is next going to be attacking Trufa again. So Trufa, roll dodge.
Although, depending on your resistance, you may just not even care. That didn't do much at all.
Mm-hmm. And now for the final one.
Which can only target me. I already know that.
Yep. So Niebas, roll dodge.
Okay, and I am going to use deflect arrows to shift action. My shift is 3, so I'm going to shift right here.
All right. And he's going to go for it again. So
All
roll
right.
dodge.
If he really wants this. Apparently he really wants this. Okay, and I will take another 7 HP in damage. That's not a big deal. HP is changed to 52 now. And I'll take slot C, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, just to make sure everything is active. From now on, Lion's Den is up and is going to be sustained. So I now have a bunch of very nice bonuses for my going to Arc of the Flashing Storm, that guy. So, let's see, that's 26, and he's going to be pushed 3 squares, but he can only go 1 before falling off, Monk. And what did we decide? That fall damage is going to count?
Yeah.
But he's dead anyway.
Fall damage is going to count. The anything going past the blue line is +4 elevation, so roll 4d6.
Well, it's Monk. It's going to be, he's going to travel 1, then he's going to travel 2 and fall down and take 4, but then he's going to travel 1 more. He would have traveled 1 more, so it'd be 5d6.
Yep.
And I don't have to roll 5d6 because I have the Rampart Scroll. It's not a crit of 30. But I still have the move that I can use from Lion's Den, so I'm going to move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'll just move right here, and that'll be.
Why do I have the image of Nebas just grabbing the widget and punting it like slamming a football?
Well, it was more that he grabbed it by its little needle, and then he just threw it down off the wall. He's like, I don't like your little stinging lasers. They're no fun. And so now I am over here, and my turn is over because that is all of my AP.
And I will call D.
All right.
Terribly sorry about that. I had to run off and do something for a family member.
Ah, there he is. Yes.
All right.
Unfortunately, you got spanked a little bit while you were gone.
I saw that.
It's all good. I just shape-shifted into you for a bit. Don't forget to turn yourself into Augustus while you're at it.
Nope. Yep.
All right. So, how big is this golem in terms of size, height?
You can see an image of it in the. Oh yeah.
But in terms of is it like 20 feet, 40 feet?
I don't think the height really matters in terms of the gameplay, does it, Monk?
Just curious, more
Not
for
really.
the thematic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say this thing is Grandpa Gundam big.
Oh, so 18 meters.
Okay. Xanthia yells out to everyone, "Don't be behind it!" And we're going to start this off with some tide turners.
Okay.
Start that one to get it going. Followed by the new one, targeting this square.
All right.
Oh Jesus!
Yes, now you see why I said don't be behind it.
2 stacks of burning prone and tier times 15, so 60 damage versus toughness.
Canadian
To
good
all
morning.
combatants, including heroes.
That's why it says combatants.
And that's why I put it in that spot so that it's not going to hit anyone currently. So just don't be behind it when it comes in next round.
You also hit the tower, technically.
Yeah, but given the choice, I think I'd rather hit the tower than anybody else.
Yeah, no, I get it. So that meteor is going to appear at the end of the next round.
Yep. Okay, so that was my first free action. So I've used 1 point. I'm going to use my
Well, you've used
shift.
2.
Yeah,
Composite magic is slow, is 2 points.
Yeah, so that's 2. Here's 3. And
Is the red mark on the map where the meteor appears?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I understood.
Make sure not to be in that square or any square adjacent to it.
And for the next free action, we're going to hit this on the only 2 possible ones, which are the golem and the widget. The widget there beside me.
The widget's dead.
Yeah, widget is turned into kibble. And also, to add to the fun to the golem, I have this active.
First 2 spells during each encounter inflict 1 stack of burning on hit foes. So the golem already has 2 stacks of burning at this point.
Nope, he hasn't been hit by the first. He hasn't been hit by the meteor.
True. So he has a stack of burning and 44 damage. Very nice. Very nice.
And for the final 1 point on the widget that's up here.
Oh, could you ping that one?
That one.
All right. So let's see. That's
15 versus.
Oh, and spark it. So that should. Let's see. That's another 6 on top of that.
No, 8 or 2 plus 2. No, you're right. 6 damage. So then resistance, whatever its resistance is, versus your 15.
so only 13 damage.
Then minus another 6, so it's at 1 HP.
Ah. All right.
And that would be the end of this turn.
Well, and then it goes to Heroes ENF because there's no Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But that's pretty good. Taking out 2, and we're getting some pretty good kills in on this round.
So, who's got slot E?
I'll take F.
I'll take E.
Which leaves Gungnir in G.
All right. To start off, to give everybody a little bit
That
of
explains
advantage.
everything. I've been trying to claim it for a while now, and you guys couldn't hear me. Fuck me.
Oh damn!
And I was muted too, son of a bitch. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to let you guys know John was trying to talk and he wasn't coming through.
And neither were you.
RBT never without a botch.
Yup.
Yeah, that's my own fault, though. Alright, I'll take G then.
All right.
Fuck me.
You guys already know where this is going, so it's time to break some ankles. I'll start.
Reminder that the golem is not yet prone because the meteor isn't here yet.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
also, would this even work on this widgets considering they're not on the ground?
Nothing prevents prone from happening to flying enemies, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it doesn't even say it in the description. So
Maybe he just makes. Maybe Earth and Maw in this case is literal. The ground is coming up to grasp them and pull them down.
Fair enough.
I think that. So let's start things off with breaking a few ankles. And the first person that's going to be knocked prone here is the big guy.
All right.
Let us make him waste at least one of his action hexes. He has 4 of them. It's not going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. And then the next thing I'm going to do is phase walk to be a little bit close to this guy over here.
Well, what's the range on phase walk?
Wait, hold up. Range of 3.
So he's out of range.
Oh, damn. In that case, I'm just gonna wind up moving up a bit. Probably about right
Son of
here.
a
And then,
bitch. Canadian Goose warning, guys.
alright. And I guess that was a slow action. Plus, when I moved, that was another slow action. So I think that's it for me. Yep, that's it. Turn ended.
And Lady K, they identify as Cobra chickens.
I don't think that's what she meant.
I meant my nose honking.
Yeah,
Cobra
I was-
Chins is a good nickname for geese.
I was pretty sure.
Especially Canadian geese. Those little fuckers are shitheads.
Yeah, they are.
They are our Air Force.
No, they're
They
not.
almost
Yes,
went
they are.
extinct. Fun fact: Canadian geese almost went extinct some years back. Unfortunately,
Really?
they've made it everyone else's problem.
So typical Canadian geese.
We know it's our problem because we hear the stories from Brother Ball all the time.
But let's see. So who was taking slot F?
That was going to be Augustus.
All right.
Yes. Quick question before I act, though. Who's going first next round?
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll take slot B next round.
Well, something's got my daughter's, something's got her giggly.
I plan on being very mean to the golem next round. Very, very mean. Its back is to a tower. Gungnir's
Very nice.
all the way over across the field.
He's not having a chance to move yet.
I know. I was just
Gungnir's
letting.
got one
I
thing
know.
to do.
I was also letting Monk know how many sentries have been destroyed in Cloister chat.
Gungnir, somebody shot at you. You know what to do to him.
I'm going to shift forward to that square there.
Yeah, it's 3 AP remain.
And I'm going to Battlefield Tempo, Trufa, and Nibus.
Okay. So that means our first slow action of the turn is a fast action, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and hit the battlefield tempo button just so it's in the chat log.
Yep.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Nice. So now you've got 1 AP remaining.
And I'm going to Insightful Leader, Trifa, which makes their next fast action a free action, which is a free act. But, yeah.
Go ahead and attack that too.
Oh, he doesn't like that at all.
What's really funny is Insightful Leader is ranged field. You could hit anybody with it.
Fair.
But
Ein helped me so much just now. I'm happy with this.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you willing to take a -2 penalty on action points on subsequent turns? One subsequent turn to get an additional 2 AP your next turn.
it would mean you'd only have 3 AP this upcoming turn, but then you'd have 5 the turn after. Or 6 the turn after.
This next turn you'll have an additional 2 AP, but the turn after it you'll have -2 AP.
Oh.
Let me see. I'm planning to do that. I'll do that. Cancelled. Sure, why not?
All right, I'm using double time on you then.
Okay. The fact that these are free is insane. So you'll be at 6 AP next turn, Trufa, and then the turn after that you'll be at 2. And then it'll go back to just being at 4 for
That's
for the
fine.
turn.
That's pretty much all I can do because everything else is slow or.
Do you have anything at fast? Anything else at fast, I should say?
No, just Battlefield Tempo. It looks like.
Let me.
Oh wait, no, I have Resolute Smite, but I'm not in range, so no, I can't do that. I can just heal someone with Leader's Comfort.
Yeah, you can heal people By reducing your barrier values to 0 if you want to, but I wouldn't. That means you
Yeah,
take
no,
double
that's what I'm
damage.
saying. It doesn't seem like everything else I have is fast, but it's
Well,
also a trigger.
hold on. No, Leader's Comfort is you only amp by dumping your barrier values. You can heal 5 plus 2 times another, no, but that'd be healing yourself. It looks like.
Oh yeah, it
And
would be. Yeah, no, that's all right. I know that's it.
I'd use it just because your HP is at 9. You'd go back to full HP.
Fair enough.
No reason not to use. And it's the non-amped version, so you'll heal 5 plus 2 times the number of other heroes within 5 squares of you, which is 5 more. So you're healing 15 HP.
Yeah, might as well. I suppose. Leader's Comfort. There we go. That's my last AP.
All right.
Which means that you go back to 60. I think. If it'll.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
I fixed it.
I believe that was slot F.
Yep. Now it's the big boy's turn.
Mm-hmm. And
Actually,
before.
when he becomes a boss.
No, he's
No.
elite.
Okay.
You can see it by the sigil on his token. That's the elite token.
Fair enough.
Remember that at the beginning of this, Monk told us that Songweave doesn't have any boss level encounters.
Fair.
So, first off, I have to account for his burning.
Yep.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's only one burning, because the 2 hasn't hit him yet.
Yeah, the meteor hasn't hit him yet.
All right, I'll just add 9. And
Damn it.
after, but that's still 15 piercing damage, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Not for something this big.
Mm-hmm. So let's. So now for the D6 roll.
Well, it has to get up. It has to spend one of its action hexes to get up to Monk.
Yep, that'd be the base one,
Yep.
and it is going to be activating its repair protocol. I do not know why it rolled a D10 for that.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't see it rolling a D10 on this end. So
Me either.
Me neither.
It did on my end for some reason.
because you've got the 3D dice enabled and it says 10 HP.
Now, here's the question: where does it spawn that dude?
Adjacent to it.
No. Which
No,
adjacent?
he's specifically asking where adjacent to is it going to spawn.
In other words, is it going to spawn in radius of meteor that's about to hit?
Well,
The
Yeah, it's
answer
in
is
radius.
yes.
I would like to point out though that Meteor's not going to hit until the end of the next round, which means it's going to have to go through all of our turns again before Meteor hits.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Let me. At the end of the next round. Yep. Yeah, he's right. Just wanted to make sure about the wording.
Mm.
But all you have to do is just engage with it and keep it from moving, and next thing you know, it's stuck.
It can
Actually
move straight
crushed.
forward right now.
So somebody needs to move up to give it a hug before it moves.
And now slot G.
G for Gungnir.
Don't worry. I claimed slot B next turn for a reason.
Oh,
Lady
I
Xanthia.
forgot one minor thing.
Oh no.
After
What?
overclocked, so
Oh.
it gets two turns.
Ah, fuck off.
Wait, when did it do overclocked?
It's a overclocked is a passive.
Oh.
And let's see, that rolled a 4. So it is not going to move,
Yeah, soon it won't move at all.
but it is going to try and attack Trufa using shock as it fires it's a case of don't tase me, bro. So
Oh no, it's doing Shock the Monkey.
but you are not going to be rolling dodge for this. You're going to be rolling willpower.
Okay.
Oof.
Oof.
19 versus toughness.
I lose 12. Wake up.
And 1, 2, 3.
That's a hell of a taser that guy's got.
More of a rocket launcher than a taser.
And next, he's going to activate his restore protocol. And what? There's nothing close to anything D10 related. So why is it? Oh, that's why. No, it's roll 20. It's roll 20 artifacting. That's why it keeps rolling D10s.
Yeah, damn it.
So it is going to remove weakness.
God damn it.
And
More friends.
it is going to spawn one Spark Sentry widget. And now it is done. So Gungnir, now you are up.
As I get ready to attack the widget that's still fully healed up there, I shout out to the rest of the guys. Remember, we're supposed to hold it off, not destroy it immediately. Only as a last resort.
I yell out, too late!
With that, I run up.
Trufa looks over at Nebos. What's with royalty here and them being clinically insane?
With that, I run up to the. I'm gonna run over here. And with that, I'm gonna see. Let's make this easy. I'm just gonna cleave his ass.
Nebus looks over at Trufa while Gungnir's cleaving this sentry. I ask myself that question every day.
Goodbye.
Monk, I would like to point out that we cannot see the nameplate or the life bar of the Spark Sentry Spider at all.
Yep.
And I would also like to point out that Gungnir just made the best cleavage I've ever seen.
That's a -8. Damn.
Knock the fuck out!
That's some
That
deep
works.
cleavage.
That works.
That's not even a V cleavage at that point. That's like a holy crap. What do you even call it?
After talking over to Trufa real quick, Nebus yells over to Gungnir, Why would you listen to the Grey Hand when he betrayed us? We're breaking this shit.
I'm not listening to the gray head, you dumbass! I'm talking about Atona! She wants this thing alive!
But let's see. So I believe that's your full turn. So now we are
Actually,
back.
real quick, what I can do, just to keep things interesting, because I can still do one last thing. Remember, I just did a melee action.
Yes, you did.
Flash will take leap. I'm gonna leap right over to this motherfucker.
A little
Can't do much with him right now, but I'll be ready for next round.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a
Also-
good fart.
Also, Monk, for the life bars over the spider and the golem, there's no numbers on them.
Golem, yes, but this guy just has nothing. No name, no health.
Yeah, I know why.
Because roll 20.
Roll 20.
Because roll 20.
All right, honk alert.
So, Truth, I believe you said you were taking slot A.
And
Yep.
Ibis is taking B.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So-
Truth, what do you got?
Okay. Jurfa's reaction, thanks to whatever it was. Yeah,
Your
thanks
first,
to- yeah,
your first slow action is a fast action, and your first free action, or your first fast
That's
action
fast
is a
action
free
is-
action.
Hence why I say it's a free action. I'm shifting right here because I have shift 3 squares, so I'm going right here.
Remember, you also have 6 AP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware. I'm going to then use Lead Obsidian.
All right, which would be great, except as a mechanical being, it's immune to poison.
Meh.
I think he's doing it for the finisher, Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
But that is still -9. -9.
Mhm. I'm going to do a tie turner.
Of course.
You know where I'm going with this.
Of course. I'm the one who helped choose some of your stuff.
So let me raise that by 1. Fish or shade theft.
That slow gets reduced to a fast, so that's a fast plus fast action.
Okay.
So you've spent 3 AP, you still have 3 AP remaining.
Mm-hmm.
If Shade Theft is your next action directly after a lead action, plus 3C to your cap check. And I believe that's a permanent bonus for the rest of the encounter. Heal your max HP. So now Trufa is back at max HP.
I'm doing that right now.
And Hit Foe loses your max HP. So Hit Foe loses 58 plus 4 from Hippolyta's aura.
And there's one thing. From Obsidian Omen, next damage dealing action that includes the hit foe
Deals 1.5 times damage. So in fact, that's half again more. So 60. Let's see, 62 plus another 31. He deals 93 damage, Monk.
Jesus!
That's okay. I'm going to do probably as much damage my next turn as well.
from there.
And you still have 3 AP. I will say that.
Yep. So from there, the Trufa looks over his shoulder at Etona. Etona, are you sure you want this thing around still?
Atona is too busy trying to finagle the tapestry to hear you, plus all the noise.
There.
Because just downstairs there's a 3-way fight going on still.
That and there's the whistle of an oncoming projectile.
Mhm.
Trupa looks at one of the legs that the golem is using to stand on. Then he does. Then I'm going to do dual attack with.
Wait, what's your hang on.
I have 6 because thanks to everything I have 6 actions.
Remember, he has 6 AP from when Augustus used double time on him.
That wasn't what I was thinking of. What I was thinking of is his action limits.
Oh yeah, he hasn't used any amps until now, Monk. This is his first amp.
I'm just making sure.
So I'm doing that to Shadow Bite.
Oh,
So, yeah, so he dual attacked Shadow Bite. Shadow Bite, 38. It's maximized because it was a critical already. So 38 plus or times another 1.5, so 38 plus 19.
Yep.
So 57 damage, Monk. And the hit foe cannot include Trufa as a target for any of their actions until the start of Trufa's next turn.
Mhm.
So, for the remainder of the combat round, the golem cannot attack him.
And that's my last one.
You still have 1 AP left. Oh no, you dual attack costs 1 AP. Nope, that's all your AP. That's true.
All right.
Nebus' turn.
Yep.
Okay, so Nebus is going to sustain Lion's Den, giving him a free move and all those fun barrier values and everything.
Mhm.
He's going to use the move from Lion's Den to move right. Let's see, here should be good. Let me do some fun stuff. Those are both within 3 squares. Okay, Tide Turner, Cacophonous Shout. That is a... Okay, so Monk, all 3 of them are going to travel 5 squares backwards, except the golem can't travel 5 squares backwards, so he's immediately going to take an additional 30 piercing damage. I did 99 damage. I outdamaged Trufa. Thank you. I also did 25 direct damage to the widget and the spider as they go back and hit the tower behind them. Plus, another... They're all dead, Monk. They're all dead. Nebus comes up, and he decides that this thing's too dangerous to wait for it to get fixed. And all he does is say, sorry, before literally picking up the golem, jumping into the sky, turning it upside down, and screaming, "Meteor Strike Suplex!" And the shockwave from the suplex kills the little minions and leaves the golem buried in the ground.
Motherfucker just suplexed the golem!
It isn't a train, but it's close enough. I knew I was going to get a chance to do this, and so I did.
I'm not argue with that.
Now,
It's a better end than a Phoenix Down, I'll tell you that.
as the thing is just barely hanging on, you suddenly hear a very strong tone, like someone hit the biggest tuning fork you've ever heard.
Okay.
And the remaining widgets and the golem suddenly stop. And as the golem gets right back up, even though it's clearly seen better days, but you see it starting its self-repair protocol.
I hate self-repair.
Atona going, "I got it!" as she turns the crank on the generator, and the tapestry emits a chime that rings high and clear above the crash of the golem and the screams of the crowd. The sound is completely pure, and for a moment, everyone just stops. The golem then stands straight, moving to a two-legged form instead of just one, saluting Atona, and then gathering the fragments that it knocked loose from the when it hit the tower, and putting them back into place, moving with the utmost precision and care, gently reassembling the uneven chunks of stone into perfect orientation. When it's done, the stone is as flush as the masonry of the surrounding buildings. Finally, the golem salutes again and waits patiently on the step. You then see Atona turn to the crowd saying, "This is the promise of Sciontics. Your lives are richer for it. The Scions built this beautiful city, built its tunnels and towers. Even now you benefit from its defenses. This power is only dangerous as dangerous as the one who wields it." She then points to Greyhand. "This man tried to sabotage my aunt's legacy. He endangered your lives by tampering with the artifact she built to help you. Don't let one fanatic cast a shadow over the bright light Pavina brought to this world." And within that, you see the Grey Legion falling back into the tunnels. Greyhand vanishing with them, saying nothing. While some people pursue, it's ultimately a dead end because of the teleporting magic that the Grey Legion utilizes, and you've seen firsthand. It is time for a new song to play in Sparkstone. Not one of Riftkeeper fear or Grey Legion envy. The voices of the Scions will once again bring hope and progress to the mountain. You see Atona holding the Songweave tapestry as the crowd roars in approval. It seems that the new song she's talking about has already begun to take hold. And that is where we will be going to break.
All right.
One quick question, Monk. What did the meteor do?
Assist the suplex.
I did call it Meteor Strike Suplex for a reason.
That's kind of fun though.
Also, that was like the fastest encounter we had.
We're all tier 4. I think that might be why.
All right, guys, we will be back in figure what, 10?
Yep.
All right, see you soon.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Cloister.
Yep. And okay, that's odd. You guys should be back at the landing page.
We are.
There we are.
Yeah, everybody's back at the landing page.
I think what happened was Kate was out of focus from the page, so it didn't update.
Now it's updated.
Yeah.
So after
Tight.
Thank you. And that was with my
After-
mic muted, by the way.
yeah, after everything has started to settle down, and everybody's able to somewhat enjoy the Inventors Festival, all things considered.
I
But
really like that chewing gunk. I might go get another piece.
in the
Of
days
course you would.
in the days since, the whole mountain of Summit is abuzz with rumor, speculation, and the optimism of revolution. On every street corner, in every inn and tavern, witnesses spin new tales of the Songweave tapestry. A few insist that a rogue scion defied the Rift Keepers and tried to destroy the mountain, but most swear that a true scion and her heroic companions commanded the giant to lay still and save the city when Greyhand and his troops failed. There are mixed reports on Greyhand's attempted coup on the Rift Keepers during the festival. His legionnaires raided the guild hall and slaughtered the unprotected Rift Keeper leadership, but he's gone into hiding after failing to draw the popular support he needed to fill the void. The people involved at the spectacle on Sparkstone have all gone to ground. As for the rest of you find yourselves back at the Grove, where you're sharing a pint with Hamara, who is doing what a surrogate parent would and embarrassing Atona by complimenting her speech.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Even if it's a surrogate parent, it is the job of parents to embarrass their kids.
Damn right.
Does that include showing some embarrassing pictures of Daytona?
Within limits.
And this is her when she blew up her first invention. This picture of her covered in nothing but sawdust.
And this is when she fell down after trying to get up into the tallest tree again.
But come on.
A picture of her like wrapped in like a mummy.
But you all notice that on hanging up on the wall is the repaired Songweave tapestry. It was more or less agreed to be hosted up there because, well, anywhere else someone might try and take it, but all the way out in the Grove, nobody's really going to be that stupid. Especially since if somebody found out, that'd cause even more problems. But Hamara goes, it's only been a few days, but I've never seen more interest in psiontics. The College of Inventors is already saying they'll support anyone who wants to study. I don't know if the laws will change, but the tone has shifted.
All it takes is the first step. Then the rest will follow.
Xanthia pipes up, and my family is going to be trying to lead the charge on this. We have been sick and tired of the Rift Keepers trying to keep psiontics down. We're going to be pushing to make sure that it stays.
You all got lucky. Hamara brings up. Greyhand had the whole thing planned from start to finish. You were supposed to take the fall for the malfunctioning tapestry and make him look like a hero. He never thought you'd be able to fix it.
Never underestimate the Legionnaires.
People like
I look over
Greyhand.
at-
People like Greyhand are always too big for their britches, you could say.
I look over at Gungar and I'm like, I don't think you fixed it. And pat Atona on the shoulder.
Nevis just says. Nevis just says, I worked with that guy for years trying to take down the Rift Keepers. He didn't think I could take down a monstrosity when that is exactly what he sent me to do over these last few years. I think he went senile.
He went power hungry. Let's face it.
All
Well-
Rift Keepers do.
Well, that being said, those that seek power are often blinded by it.
Indeed.
Oh. He covered his tracks well, but I'm quite certain he killed Pavina. He needed both of you to build the Songweave tapestry, but he only needed one of you to present it and take the blame. Killing her was likely the only way to get his hands on it. The uproar gave him time to tamper and spread his lies. Aetona going, and he knew I believed them. I was a fool, blindly chasing the tapestry like a reef spine drawn to the smell of power. She does look a bit crestfallen over it, and Hamara tries to reassure her, saying, "Don't get too down on yourself. He's been at this a long time, and there's no way you could have known." Aetona's still a bit crestfallen, but decides to channel it elsewhere, just going, "So what do we do now?" "Straight to business. I like it," Hamara goes. "You really are just like your aunt." "My magpies have a bit of news. Greyhand had a backer. The leader of one of the merchant clans in Adriel. It took us a while to pin down a name, but we finally did. Somebody named Maddox. I heard that he backed the coup in exchange for the Songweave tapestry after the whole thing was settled." To which Aetona goes, "But it only works on the artifacts of the old city. What would someone in Adriel want with it?" Amara simply states, "That's where you all come in. All of you. If you're open to it, I have another job for you. The Songweave tapestry was just the beginning. This backer, this Maddox, is interested in the city under the mountain. Whatever they hope to find down there, we need to find it first. The mountain holds countless secrets in its deep, dark tunnels. It's time to shine a light down there and see what the Rift Keepers have been keeping buried."
We're already this far in, I don't see why not.
Only if it allows me to snub the Rift Keepers' noses yet again.
The Rift Keepers are greatly diminished, but they're not completely out. They'll try to come back in some form. So
I'll break them in some form.
with respect, you did kill one of their highest-ranking captains.
Rest assured, my friend, you've done significant damage to those bastards. I was never fathomed myself, to be completely honest.
Every one of them is complicit in Ragdi's death. Nebus is at the point where he just won't rest until every purple cloak is in the ground.
Xanthia looks over at him and goes, "You've lost one. I've lost dozens in my family to those bastards."
At that point, I walk up to Nevis, just grab him by the shoulder. "Revenge can be a worthy goal if done right, but don't let it blind you, my friend. Remember what you have now."
As this is going on, someone approaches Xanthia and hands her a letter. The letter has the seal of the College of Inventors on it.
Ooh. Let's open this letter and take a read.
It reads, to whom it may concern. The College of Inventors is pleased to announce that it will now be considering proposals related to psiontics for qualified candidates with a clear and responsible course of study. We are currently interviewing to expand our pool of supervisors, welcoming both inside and outside candidates with knowledge of psiontics. These events mark a new era of learning for the college. No longer will we allow the Rift Keepers to limit the scope of our research. We will set our own agenda in accordance with the academic principles our founders wrote down centuries ago. To Aetona Brightling, we extend a permanent invitation to conduct research within our halls and take advantage of all that our community and libraries have to offer. You have reminded us that wisdom is nothing without conviction. We are academics, not politicians or warriors, but we all have a role to play in the battle for progress. Today, for perhaps the first time in a millennium, properly call ourselves inventors. There's a bit of a hint that, but actually for this, Xanthia, roll knowledge. Let's see if you can picture this.
I'd say she does it.
You note something peculiar about the handwriting. Namely the fact that it has the same kind of flourish that your grandmother would write with.
Grandma finally got in.
In other words, the House Darius is moving far more openly as a sponsor to the college.
We always were sponsoring the Scientics in private and secret. Now we can do it in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, that's right. The rest of the group doesn't know that. My family had been sponsoring Scientics secretly in the city for years. Decades, in fact.
I think people put two and two together when they saw people with the same colors as you, going about when it came to that fight.
I think Trufa knew from the beginning, but that's just because he had prior work experience with Xanthia.
And I think the rest of us probably at least deduced that she might have some that the Darius family might have some involvement, considering Xanthia's been helping us with this whole thing. Kind of hard not to put two and together, but I also walk up to Atona and I go, just remember this. Your aunt will be proud of what you've accomplished here. Remember that, and you take that with you as you move forward.
And
Trufa raises his glass to Gunyar's statement.
And as the whole thing continues onward, you see on the table that Hamara has laid out several maps. Some things she managed to pilfer from the now abandoned camp underground through the magpies, and others, well, she pilfered from somebody else. Hint, hint. Because as she's laying them out, she looks at Trufa, going, you're good, but you're not. But you still got a ways to go, kid.
Oh, and I hand Atona her aunt's journal back.
She gives a nod of thanks, but while looking at the map, while
Trufa just looks on and smirks, saying, "You sure about that?" Holds up a box that seems to have a bunch of small photos just falling out of it.
I still have the map.
Who said this had anything to do with business? Lets a few fall out to reveal some embarrassing accident photos from her childhood.
He's not even paying attention. But obviously the maps that were found do have some of the underground, but it's only a start. When the time comes and you're actually heading down there, it's going to be quite the adventure, because, well, this is a big mountain, and as it is a big mountain, there's going to be a lot of underground, and who knows how deep the underground city actually goes. Psiontic technology, for better or worse, has been reintroduced into the world. And with that comes a gold rush to try and control it. In time, Hamara will be sending you all to the Clockwork City Beneath Summit to discover the actual purpose of the tapestry. But of course, you're not the only one who's going to be going down there looking for it. The remnants of the Rift Keepers and the Grey Legion will probably want it as well. Any secrets down there to see about either controlling or destroying what's down there, even if it damages the mountain in the process. However, that is going to be a story for another time. Because for this, the story of the Songweave Tapestry has ended. And it's now as good a time as any to look towards the future. So this is going to be while this isn't the permanent end of us going through Emberwind, it is the end for the time being. As far as what's coming down the pipe, I do want to note one thing. Starting next week, we will be moving the Cloister of the Dice over to Twitch. Part of the reason for that is there's been some logistical issues whenever we've tried to get Kick working for us, including the fact that no matter what we do, the title does not want to update properly.
It just loves to say we're at the beginning of the first module.
Mm-hmm. There's also been the issues of trying to find a decent automated notification on my Discord server. The Kick bot that we have been using has been inadequate. There isn't Kick support on Pingcord, and I'm gonna be moving some things to Twitch as it is. So this was just a natural next step. Now that being said, while this is the end of the Emberwind story, we're not quite done with Emberwind yet. Because this time next week, we'll be doing a roundtable discussion going over the campaign across these 9 episodes, even if it doesn't seem as long as it actually was. Because let me look at when I posted the first VOD. So the first VOD, the session 0 for Cloister, was September 3rd, 2023.
God damn, it really was that long?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, we had, 1, maybe 2 months where we only got 1 VOD in.
If only because of timing due to a combination of holidays, conventions, and illness.
Right.
Oh. Now, so I suppose I should count my lucky stars that not many conventions are going to host themselves in the winter, because it's too damn cold, depending on where you are. I could see some conventions happening in Florida in the winter, but that's because Florida winter is not winter.
Yeah.
The word Florida and the word winter together are an oxymoron.
Yes, they are.
Even then, after some of the stories I've heard with Florida conventions this winter season, oh boy.
I know some will say that it gets colder because it's because it gets down to the 70s as opposed to the 90s, but that is not winter.
I was out. I went down one time and it was in the 60s. Everyone was complaining it was cold. I went to the pool.
And I hate
No one-
ice cream when people say it's cold. Like, oh, how can you eat ice cream? It's not that cold out.
There's
Somebody
never a
told-
wrong time for ice cream. Let's
If
face
somebody
it.
told me, how could you eat ice cream this time of year, I'd say, because I'm hungry.
Because I want something sweet with blueberries in it, and I don't currently want blueberries by themselves.
I look at people when they look at me eating ice cream in 40-degree weather and go, "What? This is a delicacy. It's
Yeah.
quite warm too for Fimble winter."
Very nice.
Now, the other thing to note with that roundtable is obviously we'll be discussing both the events of Skies of Axia and the Songweave Tapestry. But we will be having a guest because Derek Chung of Nomnivore Games, the creator of Emberwind, has elected to join us for that. So he will be on when we do the show. I imagine things are going to go off the rails because it's us.
Rails? Where we're going, we don't need rails. Except if it's in Sword World. Then we need a lot of rails.
This train regularly jumps the track.
Yeah. And in addition to that, on the 20th, we will be doing a one shot, and I will not be GMing that. Because we'll be doing the one-shot adventure for Lone Wolf Fist called Blood from God's Eye.
Man,
And
I know Joel
is-
says we play elf games, but that's pretty edgy.
And that will be GM'd by Joel Clark, the creator of Lone Wolf Fists. And how to best describe Lone Wolf Fists? Think Fist of the North Star, but even more wuxia. Or
So-
for those purists, Hokuto no Ken.
So just even bigger Desolate Wasteland Shansha, everybody.
Mm-hmm. But it would be good. It would be good to rewatch any of the iterations of Fist of the North Star in preparation.
Or any of the Geek Watches we had with Joel.
Mm-hmm. And yes, in the interest of full disclosure, Joel has been on the show on multiple occasions with Geek Watch and some of the other things. I've interviewed him in the past, and he's one of our big cheerleaders.
Joel is actually the person who coined the term that Zan is the evangelist of the monastery, because of my unbridled enthusiasm for many of the things we have talked about.
Now, the week after that, on the 27th, we will be doing what I am tentatively calling, until someone can give me a better name, the Sword World Study Hall, because yes, the campaign that we're going to be doing after the one shot is Sword World. And Sword World, as the biggest Japanese homegrown tabletop RPG, is a different beast, and there are several videos we'll be reacting to from the YouTube channel Guided by Cardia, I should say. Now that channel is, effectively speaking, the representative channel for the translation team. There is not an official translation of Sword World at this time. I'm hoping that as Lionwing and others make more Japanese tabletop available in English, and they're doing the smart thing by putting them in the manga section of bookstores. I have confirmation of this. That may change, and we may actually get a proper release.
I think the indication of how well the Goblin Slayer RPG, which is of course based in Sword World's engine, did in the West may help to convince the main producers of Sword World that there is a Western audience for this.
Yeah, that would be Kadokawa. And since Kadokawa's been pushing to have more of their light novels translated, I'm a little bit optimistic that it will eventually happen. I'm not expecting it to happen right away because, well, just the 3 core books alone, there's a lot of content.
I reread the core books because Monk wants me to do the summary. Monk, you want me to summarize that?
It was either going to be you summarizing it or me.
Monk gives me all the best roles. See, guys? There's a reason I bane him.
And this is what he does. He banes you back.
Exactly.
Mhm. That is what we in the business call a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this is as good a time to go into why taking this kind of approach with Sword World is what we're doing, because a lot. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up, since you brought up Goblin Slayer, how when that came out, a lot of people were like, "Well, why don't you just use D&D for this?" I mean, the light novel uses D&D, and the creator said it was based on his AD&D adventures.
Yeah, we will acknowledge that, yes, Goblin Slayer's stories are based in the writer's old college D&D campaigns, but that's actually an outlier when it comes to Japanese tabletop players. As Monk called it, Japan's biggest homegrown TTRPG, as I usually try to explain it, Sword World is as ubiquitous a word for TTRPGs in Japan as D&D is as ubiquitous a word for TTRPGs in the US. It's the same type of name recognition. So doing Goblin Slayer in Sword World's engine makes a lot of sense. It also makes a lot of sense if you consider the actual feats that you see Goblin Slayer and his adventuring group do. They're very, very much not just confined to a single class. And considering Sword World's interesting character creation schema, which we will get into later, I feel like Sword World's flexibility actually helps to flesh out what Goblin Slayer's characters can do.
Mm-hmm. And the other, now as far as why cover something like that, well, it is perfectly in keeping with the crusade of my temple. And while there's been a few videos here and there discussing Sword World, there hasn't been enough coverage, in my opinion. Because I think when I did a cursory dig around, the only major video I was able to find was done by Notepad Anon. I found like 1 or 2 VTubers who had brought it up in their live streams, and 1 actual play.
And I think that's even including the Japanese side of YouTube. I think that Sword World, while being a ubiquitous name in Japan, in Japan in general, TTRPGs
are still very much a niche hobby.
Way more niche than here in the US, absolutely.
I do recall that Andy Kitkowski, aka Diamond Sutra, had talked about how a lot of Japanese tabletop isn't often played at somebody's house, but played at a karaoke room that's been rented out, which is why there's a bit of skewing towards one-shots.
Yeah, and also a skewing towards a very specific age group.
Mm-hmm.
Karaoke rooms are generally popular with late teenagers to early to mid-20s, and then as people get further and further into the workforce, it gets lesser and lesser.
Mm-hmm. And we've already begun work on how that's going to go. And on February 3rd, we will begin the Session 0 for the Sword World campaign, which I am calling Aboard the Magic Railroad. Because unlike some fantasy settings that want to say we are strictly medieval, except for the fact that they're averse to gunpowder, but we won't talk about that. Sword World is coming in though. We not only have trains, we have a god of trains.
We had a fun discussion on that.
Strasford is a funny god. He's technically considered a minor god. But boy is he fun.
Mm-hmm. And it ends up highlighting something that we've talked about in the past, and that is a lot of people who are familiar with D&D will probably be familiar with the fast and looseness it plays regarding what sort of fantasy it wants to be. It's almost a Mott and Bailey affair when it comes to it. Because, and I know I've done this rant before, but it bears repeating the whole thing of it can run any kind of fantasy until it can't.
Sometimes that until it can't comes very, very quickly too.
Mm-hmm. Or you have to do so many house rules to make a certain style of fantasy work that you may as well just make your own game at that point.
And plenty of people have.
Mm-hmm. There are hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel dedicated to just that.
And a few Valley of the Judge seasons.
Mm-hmm. And spoiler warning, that's not changing anytime soon, despite what a certain idiot had tried to claim this week. Oh, we will get to him on Monday.
Bring your popcorn for that, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But
Popcorn, soda, everything you need. Rum will be the liquor will be provided as long as you have proper identification.
yeah,
No, it's BYOB. The fuck are you talking about? I'm not giving them my liquor.
We're not talking about your stash. Have us we know about that as we look at the 5 corpses of the people who try to steal from your stash, Zan.
but I won't deny that Sword World has been something I've had in the back burner about doing for the longest time. And when someone bullied me into stepping back in the GM chair,
I take that with pride, sir.
this was one that was high up on the short list. And again, the reason for it is there's a lot of things that Sword World does very, very well, and this is a perfect opportunity to showcase that. Just as much is the fact that over the last, I'd say, 3 years, I've been seeing more and more exposure of Japanese tabletop, whether it be official translations, thanks to people like Lion Wing Publishing, to a lesser extent Yen Press, but they've only done like 2 projects. Lion Wing has done, I think by this time, I think by the time Eldritch Escape comes out, they'll have done like 4 or 5. In terms of RPGs, and even before that, they were already doing board and card games like Embryo Machine and Gun and Gun. So, as opposed to Yen Press only doing 2. The Goblin Slayer RPG we mentioned before, and the Konosuba RPG. Which I have, but I haven't done a deep dive yet, and I don't plan to for a bit, because I need to figure out how to. If I was to do a Konosuba campaign, I would have to try and figure out how I'm going to have that same style of humor without having people be XPs of the characters from the show. That's always a concern when it comes to adaptation.
My explosions are giving him PTSD.
No. No, you got to do better than that if you want to give me nerd PTSD.
We just have to get Kazuma to steal the monk's underwear.
Oh God.
Oh.
I don't want that image in my head.
Too bad I
No,
already
none
put
of
it there
us
for you,
do.
Akira.
Yeah.
I'm an equal opportunity banner, thank you very much.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But there's also the fact that because of what happened last year, which I've done videos on, and plenty of people have talked about because of how much of a big damn deal the OGL incident was. This is a golden opportunity for somebody like me, because I think everything that Wizards of the Coast and by extension Hasbro has done has shaken a lot of people out of habits. And I was juggling more Kickstarters last year than I've done the last few years. Part of that is because I know I have a better sense of where to look for things as I've been doing this, but also just more people working on projects, saying in the wake of Hasbro being idiots. Fine, I'll make my own game with blackjack and hookers.
Always
Honestly
gotta have
speaking-
the hookers.
Yeah, honestly speaking, like looking at the grand scheme of things, I think the progression we have here is that D&D has always had at least a niche popularity, but the success of things like Critical Role drew people's eyes to the product. But then after all this shit started happening, people were like, okay, well, there has to be more than just D&D. What else is out there? And now we're starting to see that come into focus.
And you and everybody else knows that I've always been very critical when it comes to, well, Critical Role. Not because I have any sort of beef with anybody involved with it. I'm generally ambivalent on that front, but my issue has been more about Critical Role as a teaching tool.
Yeah, that's kind of how we've always felt, is that Critical Role itself is great on its own merits. The problem has always been the impact it accidentally created in people wanting to play like Critical Role, when, by all accounts, Critical Role is not how TRPGs go. It is very much an anomaly in its own way, but it's one that fit the streaming space.
Well, there's the common phrase that Critical Role is to TTRPGs as porn is to actual sex. Very scripted and highly produced.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke about not wanting to see where the sausage is made, but I don't think that's apropos. Or maybe it's too apropos because but and that is something that we'll be going a little bit further into on Monday, because because Critical Role was just one half of the equation. I'd say the other half was the flirtation of it through Stranger Things.
Yeah, I'd say that definitely was a catalyzing factor.
Oh yeah.
And these days, I'd say an even bigger factor is the runaway success of Baldur's Gate 3.
And as a fan of those kind of games, I am glad they finally got a good one out.
Yeah, I'd say Baldur's
I
Gate
want
3
to
is the
play it.
culmination of it.
I want to play
Baldur's
it.
Gate 3 is the culmination of what's been building when it comes to exposing TRPGs. It was, then the right things were going, that was inevitable. That a game like Baldur's Gate 3 would come out to finally catalyze everything. But you know,
Yeah. Unfortunately, Larian had more or less been making Baldur's Gate an all but name for about 20 years.
Hello, Divinity series.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Divinity games. They're really good.
Which is why it didn't come as such a shock that it ended up doing as well as it did. Because keep in mind, if Original Sin didn't work out, they would have shut down.
Shuttered. Yep.
That that was a gamble. I compare that gamble to the way the original WrestleMania was a gamble. Like they were like, this is either going to work or we're closing up.
Oh, another accurate analogy is Final Fantasy, the original.
No, that's an urban legend. Square was originally an electrical company, and making video games was kind of a thing, one of their departments on the side. Final Fantasy wasn't going to be the final game ever. That's a very fantastic and romantic way of
I think he's referring to that if it didn't work out, then Sakaguchi was going to go back to teaching.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's never been confirmed either. He's mentioned that as like an offhand joke in a couple of interviews, but never with any seriousness.
Anyway, regardless, the point still stands. The point is that this was a make it or break it moment.
Mm.
And I plan on continuing this particular journey because as I've said many times, I am on a crusade to showcase what is out there. And unlike some who will say, "Oh, this is great. Shame that more people didn't play it." That is not the approach that I'm taking here. The approach is, "This is fucking awesome. Go fucking play it." Because if we adopt a defeatist attitude, then that's what we're gonna get. My old man has the saying, positive things happen to positive people, negative things happen to negative people. And
Your attitude determines your altitude.
And in the spirit of that, would I like a bunch of eyes on Emberwind or on any of the projects that we cover? Yeah. But if I can get more eyes, then I've done my job. So things are going to be optimistic for the Cloister as well as for some other projects, and we'll be getting into that in the coming days. So keep an eye out on the usual medias. Obviously, the Discord is the place where I'm going to be the most active. I just use Twitter for shit posting, but. With that said, a sincere thanks to everybody who has watched the Emberwind journey so far. We will be back with the one shot of Lone Wolf Fists next week.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Next week is the roundtable.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Sorry about that. Next week is the roundtable. So grab your drinks for the inevitable going off the rails with that, because I have no idea what sort of questions are going to be asked and answered, which is the fun part. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.